beautiful Colorado Rockies. Mountain flying is not something you can do on a whim. It's important to understand the challenges of weather and of high altitude flying. So I'm going to learn from some great instructors. First, I'm off to Centennial Airport to learn from Crosswind landings guru Taylor Albrecht. Next, I go to Boulder to understand the intricacies of mountain flying from instructor Lonnie Hilkemeyer. After that, I go to one of the best airports for mountain flying, Aspen. I'm going to fly with my good friend and instructor, Jay Kronk. This is going to be amazing. Hi.
Hi, Brittney. Understand you're going to do some mountain flying up here.
Yes.
Most of these mountain airports only have one runway,
Okay.
so you don't have a crosswind option when you're flying up there. You need to have those skills honed.
Right.
So this is going to be great training for you.
Good.
Well, let's get started. When we are flying along and we want to turn one way or the other, one of the ailerons goes up and one of them goes down.
Right.
And the one that goes down is creating more lift. When I create more lift, what also do I create?
More drag.
More drag. Which drag?
Induced drag.
Induced, right. It's always induced by lift. So I've got more drag in it, making the nose want to yaw, adverse to the turn. There are two ways to be cross-controlled. One of them is a slipping turn. And in the slip, we've got more horizontal component of lift than we do centrifugal force. So is it important to know what the crosswind component is that you're up against?
Yes.
So how do you figure that out? 30 degrees is half.
Okay.
Say it with me.
30 degrees is half.
And what does that mean? If the wind is 30 degrees off the runway course, then exactly half the velocity is crosswind component. If it's 60 degrees off runway course, all of the wind is crosswind component.
Okay.
The number one most important tip for crosswind landing, approach and landing, is point your nose with your toes. Number two is that bank angle controls your lateral position. Okay? And then number three, fly, don't land. Questions?
No, I'm ready to go put it all together and do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great, I am too. Go ahead and hop in.
Right.
Stomp on that rudder pedal and get it to the floor. You're not tiptoeing around at
Okay, I've got the airplane.
all. Look at the smile on your face. Whoa. What I want you to try and do is stay in one spot with this monitor as we do these forward slips. The hardest task for the whole training session. You ready?
Yes.
Good. All the way in. Don't do anything with your
Okay.
rudder, because if you go, 1, go, 2, 1, 3, 4, you should be neutral rudder and the wings level.
Okay.
So just nice and easy through that.
All right.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Let's go full right rudder, left bank. You gotta look closer. Nose with your toes opposite bank. Okay. Word, center us up. You did a
Yes.
great job.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much.
You're very welcome.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Special Flight Training.
Thank you.
Would you like to get started on that mountain training?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Sounds great. All right, well, come on up.
Great.
We have several things here for you. That way we can cover some of the most key components of mountain training. This chart has multiple weights that we're able to do. Just losing that 10% of max gross weight, we're getting a very substantial increase in climb performance. Our performance charts are a must. We have to go over them So if we have a stable air mass, it's not necessarily going to want to rise. In fact, it's going to try to resist that. And so this is where it's going to try to follow along the path of least resistance, no different than water, right? And so it's going to then try to go around the mountain. As we start to see some of these valleys that we have in the mountains, that can cause a Venturi effect. We want to pay attention to pressure differentials, okay, and high and low pressure systems and the way that they're going to flow and the way that they're going to work, because this downsloping wind is going to cause us possibly a headwind to try and get up and over.
Right.
We're going to get differing wind angles and velocities, okay? And so of course this is something where we always are talking about turbulence and maneuvering speed.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
Well, of course, if we do have winds aloft coming from west to east, these are then going to get blown downwind, and this is how we can get some very strong thunderstorms. If we don't have enough altitude, we're not going to see the topography behind that. And in fact, as we get closer, it's going to appear that these mountains are actually rising in our view screen.
And so it's not going to be a direct flight, it's going to be kind of approaching each ridgeline and weaving.
You are 100% applying what we're talking about. We of course need water, where you need a heat or a way to get out of the heat depending on what's going on.
Okay.
Some form of shelter, and then last is food. Now it's not uncommon that we have air vents here in the mountains for mountain obscuration or for turbulence. So those are things that we're definitely going to consider. But anytime that there's a SIGMENT, that's just an automatic no-go. I think we can go ahead and head on down towards the simulator.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's go to the next step.
All right, sounds great. All right, so here we are almost perfectly at sea level VX, okay? Looking good. But again, we can see that we're not getting the aircraft performance that you're probably so used to when you fly at or near sea level.
Right.
As we transition towards VY, we will get a better rate of climb, but of course we're then going to take more distance to get to that altitude by being at VX versus VY. We'll then start to lean the mixture, and we'll be able to see that.
Okay, go ahead and start leaning.
Absolutely. We'll see a sustained increase in the climb rate because we have, look at this, we've gained more than 200 RPM basically just by leaning the mixture. We're always going to continue to fly the same indicated airspeeds. Notice how our true airspeed is basically 10 knots faster than what our indicated airspeed is.
Yeah.
We're going to approach it at a 45 degree. That way, if we don't like the weather that we're encountering as we get closer to the mountain, that's right, it's only a 9-degree turn away from terrain. And then, of course, if we enjoy the weather that we're experiencing, we'll turn towards the ridgeline and cross it at a 90 as we're getting closer.
Okay.
All right, 6,300 is our traffic pattern altitude. We're really looking for no more than about 85 knots.
Okay.
Because that'll allow us to really kind of get a feel for where things are. We're going to take this swath and we're going to aim right at those peaks way up in the distance.
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead, pick up some altitude. We'll go to 65 again. And this is what's going to happen. You're just trying to hang on to altitude type of stuff.
Yeah, they're all hanging pretty low there.
Yeah, they are. Yep. The kicker is that as I get closer and closer to these, we're really going to start to get more vertical. I can't tell what that cloud is. Rotor. You see how it's hollow in the middle? It's ragged everywhere. Those are the ones you do not. Those are the ones you absolutely avoid like the plague.
Yeah.
And this is what we do, right? We go up and we say, okay, well, you know, look, there's no good spot for us to ever get across the Continental Divide. And if you did, are you coming back home? Right?
Yeah, you'd be
because
stuck.
Right, all of these are going to go vertical on us, so we're going to have thunderstorms. This is why we went to take the training when not to go.
Exactly.
Hey Brittney, how are you? You ready to go fly?
Yes.
All right, beautiful day.
Yes.
Unbelievable, beautiful day.
Wow, I love mountain flying. That was such a great way to expand my skills, and I loved learning from these amazing instructors. Next, I'm staying in Aspen and I'm heading over to the middle school to fly around the world with the students in their aviation program.